Today's lesson is called An Enemy of the People. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
My name is Roger. Today we're talking about literature. Maybe you've heard of the Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. He was a Norwegian playwright, and of course he produced all sorts of stuff for us to enjoy. Lots of plays, and today, more specifically, we're going to be talking about his play, An Enemy of the People. I think this came out in 1882, somewhere around there. And there was a play he wrote before that called Ghosts, which was kind of controversial, so I guess that's why he wrote this play, as we're going to find out as our lesson continues.
There you go. Today we're going to be reading a synopsis, a brief summary of a piece of writing by Henrik Ibsen. It's called An Enemy of the People. Now, Ibsen, Henrik Ibsen, he was Norwegian. He's from Norway, and maybe you've never heard of this guy before. But guys, Henrik Ibsen is a very, very well-revered and very well-respected playwright. Even in his own day, people recognized him to be a master of literature, a fantastic writer. No less than James Joyce wrote to Henrik Ibsen saying, "Hey, I think that your writing is fantastic." Yeah, that's a side note. James Joyce is a very famous Irish writer, but boy, did he ever like Henrik Ibsen. Not only did he write him fan mail, he learned Norwegian, or enough Norwegian, so that he could write Henrik Ibsen fan mail in Norwegian. How about that? Anyways, that should give you an idea of how well respected and revered Henrik Ibsen is and was. How about that? All right, folks, with that, let's go ahead and take a short break. But when we come back, we'll start reading from An Enemy of the People.
An Enemy of the People. Henrik Ibsen was a Norwegian playwright, director, and poet. He received harsh judgment for his play Ghosts because it questioned the morality of the day. As a response, Ibsen wrote An Enemy of the People, in which the main character, Dr. Stokman, is treated like a villain by the public for speaking the truth.
大家好，第一部分我们看到的单字是 morality， 指道德规范，所以可以说People can't help having a morality to restrain their behaviors. 人们无法控制道德规范对行为的约束。
Okay, An Enemy of the People. That's the title of our featured work of literature by Henrik Ibsen. And here it begins by saying Henrik Ibsen was a Norwegian playwright, director, and poet. Okay, so of course a playwright is a person who writes plays. That much is certain. He's written several plays that we all know and love. He received harsh judgment for his play Ghosts because it questioned the morality of the day. So here we're talking about judgment, which means people pass their opinion on something. It's good, it's bad, or whatever. That's what judgment is. But he received bad judgment because these people did not like his play Ghosts. It was controversial. So here we've got the vocabulary word harsh, which means it's kind of rough, it's kind of tough, it's cruel, it's severe. It's something you don't want to face. If you live in Canada, for example, you might have to deal with harsh winter weather.
There you go. Harsh winter weather is really bad and really intense winter weather. It's unpleasant there in the middle of winter in the Canadian North. Yes, if something is harsh in this situation, harsh judgment, let's say, it's kind of mean, it's bad, it's negative, it's rough. And yes, apparently Ibsen did receive harsh judgment for his play Ghosts. That's the name of this play. It's a drama, a play in that sense. Okay, and remember, Ibsen was a playwright. A playwright is a writer who writes plays. And there I've used that word write and writer in a couple of different ways. And that's spelled W-R-I-T-E, that's right, or W-R-I-T-E-R, writer. But a writer who writes plays is a playwright, and you spell that differently. It's one word, Playwright. I know it's weird, but we just have to live with it, basically. Anyways, yes, a playwright is someone like Shakespeare, someone who writes plays, dramas that are going to unfold on stage there, even though you can read these in books as well. Anyways, Ibsen, the playwright, received harsh judgment for his play Ghosts because it questioned the morality of the day. And as a response, Ibsen wrote An Enemy of the People, in which the main character, Dr. Stokeman, is treated like a villain by the public for speaking the truth. So Ibsen, in his play Ghosts, he questioned the morality of the day, and he got treated badly for this. He received harsh judgment for this. Then, as a retort, or as a response, he wrote another play. And in this play, An Enemy of the People, the main character, this Dr. Stokeman, he's treated like a bad guy or a villain just because he speaks the truth. So I get the feeling that Ibsen said, hey, in Ghosts, I spoke the truth, okay? I'm not lying here. I'm questioning the morality of the day because there might be something wrong with it. So I'm only trying to tell the truth, not unlike Dr. Stokeman in my newest play. So don't treat me like a villain. Don't treat me like a bad guy. Yes, a villain is a bad guy. In a play or in a novel or something like that, the villain is the antagonist, i.e., he's not the hero.
That's right. He's the bad guy. He's the villain, as you said. So, yes, he wrote this in response to criticism about his earlier play, Ghosts. Hey, people didn't like that play, and they gave him severe criticism for that, harsh judgment. So he said, well, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to write another play that you're not going to like as well. It's going to be called An Enemy of the People. Take that. Okay, so let's find out what this play is all about. Let's move on now to the next part of our lesson. We'll listen first, and then we'll talk about it.
In a small town in Norway, the economy relies on spring-fed baths, which attract both locals and tourists. However, there's a problem. Dr. Stokeman suspects the water is polluted and putting people in danger. When tests confirm the doctor's fears, he feels he has saved the town. His wife and daughter congratulate him, as does Hovstad, the editor of the town's newspaper. Hovstad agrees to run an article about the problem to warn the public.
第二部分我们看到的单字是动词 congratulate， 指祝贺恭喜，像是 Patty congratulated Kevin when he got the best grade on his history exam. Patty 在 Kevin 获得历史考试最高分的时候祝贺他。另外，补充与 congratulate 相关的片语，可以用 congratulate somebody for 或者是 on something. Congratulate somebody for 动词 ing 来表示祝贺某人某事。举例来说，My principal congratulated me on graduating with top honors. 校长祝贺我以最高荣誉毕业。又或者说 Terry congratulated his sister for being the only female participant in the archery competition. Terry 祝贺他妹妹为射箭比赛中唯一的女性参赛者。
Okay, folks, we're back, and we're going to start reading our synopsis of An Enemy of the People. Now, I get the feeling here that in this particular play that one Dr. Stokeman has been cast as a villain, or he's going to be treated as a villain because he speaks the truth. And for that reason, people might call him the enemy of the people. But here's the question. Is Dr. Stokeman really the enemy of the people? We'll have to get into that more deeply to get a good answer. Anyways, let's start reading. In a small town in Norway, the economy relies on spring-fed baths, which attract both locals and tourists, which sounds straightforward enough.
Exactly. So that's what happens in this small town in Norway. You can take a bath there. I guess they have these public baths, but the water comes from springs. Here in Taiwan, of course, you got hot springs, and there are lots of towns that have their economies rely on the hot springs. So, of course, they want to keep them clean and healthy, and they don't want to have any controversy. So, of course, local people use those baths, and tourists come there as well. However, there is a problem. Dr. Stokeman suspects the water is polluted and putting people in danger. So he thinks this is the case. Maybe he smelled something strange in the water. He's a doctor. Maybe he knows about those sorts of things. But of course, as you know, people are not going to want to hear this kind of news because that will chase all the tourists away. And hey, the summer's coming. We're expecting all these tourists to come up here. We're going to make a lot of money. And you're saying that the springs are polluted. Hey, you better shut your mouth.
This almost sounds like the plot of the movie Jaws. In the movie Jaws, there's this big shark that starts eating people off the coast of a small island that needs tourism to survive. So at first, the mayor says, hey, don't tell anybody. Maybe the shark will go away. And then people will keep coming to our island during the summer and we'll keep the economy on the island going. So at first, they cover things up. But then it becomes apparent that this shark is not going to quit. And the rest of the movie starts, and it's a good one. It's fantastic. Jaws, look it up. Directed by Steven Spielberg. Anyways, you have this small town in Norway. The economy there, it relies on spring-fed baths. So Dr. Stokeman, he suspects the water in these baths is polluted and putting people in danger. So what does he do? As a good doctor, he tests the water. And when the tests confirm the doctor's fears, he feels he has saved the town. Yes, he thinks he's doing the right thing. And get this, his wife and daughter both congratulate him, as does Hovstad, the editor of the town's newspaper. They all say, good job, well done for saving the town. But things aren't quite so clear-cut. Even though the editor here and his wife and his daughter are saying good job, there are a lot of people who are going to want to cover things up and to keep Dr. Stokeman quiet. Anyways, let's talk about the word congratulate right now. If you congratulate someone, you say good job. If you congratulate someone, you wish them well after accomplishing something. You very simply just say good job. Congratulations.
Right, that's what we usually say to someone. Hey, congratulations on your success. Congratulations on getting accepted into that university. We're very happy for you. But again, the verb here is to congratulate someone. Again, that means to say nice things to someone after they have accomplished something. So they say, yeah, good job, Dr. Stokeman. You've helped us out greatly. You pointed out a problem. We'll fix it. And then there won't be any controversy. And that's also how the editor of the newspaper feels. Hey, yes, that's a good job. It's a good news story. And Hofstad agrees to run an article about the problem to warn the public. So, of course, he's a good newspaper editor, and he says, yes, this is good news. This is something that the people need to know about. So he agrees to run an article in the newspaper. Here we've got the verb to run, which in the publishing business means you're going to print it and you're going to publish it and people are going to read it. Let's run an article in the magazine.
Let's put it in the magazine. Let's put this article in the newspaper so that everyone can read it. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a break. But don't go away. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up this part of our article on an enemy of the people.
The next morning, Morton Kill, Stokeman's father-in-law, visits and compliments Dr. Stokeman on his joke. Kill says the idea of the spring water being contaminated is far-fetched, to the point of being unbelievable. Hofstad, on the other hand, tells the doctor that it is not only the water that is poisoned in the town, but also the town government. He plans to use Stokeman's report to challenge the corrupt leadership.
第三部分我们看到单字 contaminate， 这个字是动词，有污染之意。例如 industrial waste contaminated the river water， 工业废料污染了河水。另外补充 contaminate 的名词 contamination， C-O-N-T-A-M-I-N-A-T-I-O-N contamination。 所以可以说 the factory had to be shut down due to toxic radioactive contamination。 由于有毒的放射性污染，导致这间工厂必须关闭。接着我们看到形容词 far-fetched， 指牵强的、 不着边际的，像是 The boy had a far-fetched explanation for why he didn't do his homework. 那男孩对于作业没写的解释很牵强。再来，我们看到一个片语 to the point of 名词或是动词 ing 表示到点点点的程度或是地步。举例来说 During the practice, the coach pushed his athletes to the point of collapse. 练习过程中，那名教练把他的选手逼到崩溃的地步。另外，片语 to the point 亦可解释为中肯的或切要的。所以我们可以说 I don't have time right now to listen to a long story. Could you please just get to the point? 我现在没有时间听长篇大论，可以请你切入重点吗？最后，我们看到形容词 corrupt 用来形容贪污的或腐败的。例如 When the corrupt politician was caught stealing money from the government, he was brought to justice. 当贪污的政客被抓到偷政府的钱时，被移送法办。另外 corrupt 除了当形容词外，还可以当动词，指破坏或使堕落。所以可以说 Elliot's conservative parents were worried that playing in a rock band would corrupt his morals. Elliot 保守的父母担心他在摇滚乐团玩音乐时会学坏。
Okay, now the plot thickens here. The next morning, after, of course, they've agreed to run an article in the newspaper about this problem with the springs in this town, Morton Kill, Stokeman's father-in-law, visits and compliments Dr. Stokeman on his joke. So he thinks it's all a joke. He thinks that he made all this stuff up. Of course, here, Morton Kill is Dr. Stokeman's father-in-law. He is the father of his wife. And he says, hey, maybe sarcastically, what a great joke there, okay? That's really funny, ha, ha, ha. For running that article in the newspaper, we all dying laughing about that. So he compliments him, and to compliment, of course, means to say nice things to someone. Hey, I like your new haircut.
There you go. When you compliment someone, you give them a compliment. Yes, you can use the word compliment as a verb or as a noun. Very simply, a compliment is something nice that you say to someone, whereas if you compliment someone, you're saying that nice thing to them. Anyways, yes, the plot indeed does thicken. Dr. Stokeman thinks he's a hero. His wife and daughter believe that as well, as does the editor of the town's newspaper. But then things get complicated. Morton Kill, this guy, he thinks that it's all a joke. Yes, Kill says the idea of the spring water being contaminated is far-fetched to the point of being unbelievable, okay? He says, there's no way this could ever be true. What you said is so crazy that I can't believe it, okay? It's far-fetched or crazy to the point of being unbelievable, i.e., it's far-fetched to the point or to the extent that I just can't believe you anymore.
That's right. So the water is contaminated, which means it's polluted. Usually we use contaminated to talk about something being poisoned and you can no longer use it. So he thinks, hey, this is Norway. It's nice and clean up here in Scandinavia. Stuff like that would happen like in the United States or in dirty old England or France or something like that. Not here. That's a ridiculous idea. It's silly. It's stupid, but it's actually kind of funny. So it's far-fetched. It's ridiculous. And it's almost unbelievable. So Hofstad, again, he's the editor of the newspaper. Hofstad, on the other hand, tells the doctor that it is not only the water that is poisoned, it's not only the water that is contaminated in the town, but also the town government. Uh-oh. Now, that's getting personal here, okay? If you think the water's contaminated, that's one thing. But if you think the government is corrupt, ooh, you're asking for trouble.
Oh, I thought this editor was on board for the right reasons. It turns out, though, that he doesn't care about the contaminated water and the threat it might pose to people. He doesn't care about this at all. He's thinking, hey, I can use this article to pounce on the government. I want to use my paper to critique the town government here because I believe it's corrupt and poisoned. Okay, so I'm going to use this article in this situation in order to launch an offensive on the government. Yes, he doesn't care at all about these poison baths. He wants to be able to enter politics or to critique the politics of the town government. This editor fellow is an opportunist. He doesn't care about anyone at all or these contaminated baths. Yes, get this. He plans to use Stokeman's report to challenge the corrupt leadership. That's all he really wants to do.
To challenge them, yes, indeed. The mayor is corrupt. He probably bribed people to get elected, and he wants to change this government. But of course, as you know, people in power don't want to lose that power. So we're probably in for a big fight here between Dr. Stokeman and the editor of the newspaper and the city council and the mayor. It's going to be a big mess up here in peaceful little Norway. That might cause the tourists to stay away. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分的一开始提到 In a small town in Norway, the economy relies on spring-fed baths, which attract both locals and tourists. 在一个挪威的小镇，这里的经济仰赖吸引当地居民和观光客的泉源浴场。好，我们看到句子里面有一个复合形容词叫 spring-fed。Spring 当名词可以指泉水，那么 feed F-E-E-D 这个字呢，当动词它有供给啊、提供的意思。那么 spring-fed baths 就表示 baths that are fed by spring， 也就是以泉水来当作水源的这个浴场。好，另外我们要介绍的是片语动词 rely on， 也可以说 rely upon， 那就表示依赖啊，或是依靠。它的后面你可以接人或是事物来当受词。例如Kate relies on the MRT to get to work every day. Kate 是每天靠捷运上班。好，那我们读到课文最后一句，他说 He plans to use Stockman's report to challenge the corrupt leadership. 他计划用 Stockman 的报告来质疑腐败的领导阶层。好，那么句子里面有一个单字叫 corrupt， 它是用来形容腐败的。那这边要帮同学们补充它的字首字根，还有它有其他这个相同字根的单字。首先 rupt R-U-P-T 这个字根啊，它有break 也就是破裂啊、打断的意思。有这个字根的单字呢，多半会带有这种突然被介入或是打破原本规律的语义。好，那么在 corrupt 这个字当中 R-U-P-T 它就表示破裂。那么字首 C-O-R 它有强调的作用，其实 C-O-R 就是来自 C-O-M， 当 C-O-M 碰到字母 R 它就被同化成 C-O-R 了。所以呢，同学们就可以试着联想啦，当所有的事物呢它都整个都全都崩坏分离，那就表示腐败腐化咯。好，接着我们来看别的单字哦，像 erupt 这个字 E-R-U-P-T 它的字首 E 有向外的意思，那么 rupt 表示破裂。好，那爆炸的时候是不是会有东西破裂啊，有很多碎屑向外喷发呢？ erupt 这个动词它就有喷出爆发的意思，常常用来表达火山的爆发。好，再来看 interrupt 这个字，它的字首呢 I-N-T-E-R inter 表示在什么什么之间，然后搭配 rupt 表示打断。当我们从中介入某件事情或是介入某个活动，它的连贯性是不是就被打断了呢？因此 interrupt 它就有打岔或是中断的意思。好，还有一个单字叫 abrupt A-B-R-U-P-T 这个字啊，它的字首 A-B 有分离的意思， 那么 abrupt 表示打断。同学们就可以试着联想啦，某个事物突然断裂的时候，就像你铅笔写一写，笔芯突然断了，或者是你眼镜突然断成两半，是不是会有让人一种很突然很意外的感受？好，那么 abrupt 这个形容词就是用来形容意外的、突然的、唐突的。我们在字尾加上 ly 就会变成副词 abruptly， 表示唐突的或是突然的。好啦，那么以上是今天的重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Playwright. William Shakespeare is the world's most famous playwright. Harsh. I think your criticism of his paper was too harsh. Villain. Surprisingly, at the end of the film, the villain defeats the hero. Congratulate. I would like to congratulate you on your promotion. Compliment. Professor Wong complimented me on the depth of my analysis in the final report. Contaminate. The factory was forced to close down because it was contaminating a nearby river. Corrupt. At last, the corrupt president was exposed, along with several of his equally dishonest supporters.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.